Welcome, gents. You don't owe anyone a presence that cost you your peace. Sigma males don't ghost people because they're heartless, cruel, or incapable of communication. They do it because they recognize when a situation no longer serves them, and they act without hesitation. Unlike most, they don't waste time in relationships that drain them, friendships built on false loyalty, or social circles that demand more than they give. They don't do drama, they don't do fake connections, and they certainly don't explain themselves to those who never truly valued them. Society expects people to hold on, to tolerate, to keep giving endless chances. But a Sigma male doesn't follow the rules of the majority. He moves on when he sees the truth. If someone disrespects his time, takes advantage of his loyalty, or shows signs of hidden agendas, he won't argue. He will disappear. Not out of weakness, but out of strength, because he knows his energy is too valuable to waste. Some will call it cold. Others will be frustrated by the lack of closure. But Sigma males don't live to make others comfortable at their own expense. They don't seek permission to protect their peace. And if someone forces them into a position where leaving is the best option, they won't hesitate. To every Sigma male out there, trust your instincts. You don't owe anyone explanations for doing what's best for you. Keep walking your path. Cut off what no longer serves you, and never apologize for choosing your peace over chaos. Let's explore the 11 reasons why Sigma males ghost people without regrets. Number 1, they recognize when a relationship has expired and act without hesitation. Most people have a bad habit of holding on to relationships long after they've expired. They keep investing time, energy, and emotions into connections that should have ended long ago, whether it's out of fear, guilt, or the naive hope that things will magically improve. Sigma males don't operate that way. They don't believe in dragging dead weight, and they refuse to waste their time pretending something still holds value when it clearly doesn't. When a Sigma male senses that a relationship, romantic, friendship, or even professional has run its course, he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't entertain unnecessary discussions, drawn-out arguments, or exhausting attempts to fix what's already broken. Instead, he removes himself, cleanly, silently, without looking back. It's not because he lacks emotions, it's because he understands a harsh truth most people avoid. Not every connection is meant to last forever. Some people enter your life for a reason, some for a season, but very few for the long haul. Sigma males accept this reality without resistance. They don't get caught up in sentimental illusions. They assess relationships based on value, respect, and energy exchange. And the moment those elements disappear, so do they. And let's be honest, when a relationship is done, it's done. The emotional attachment might linger, but the substance, gone. And Sigma males refuse to entertain empty interactions just because it's expected. They'd rather walk away in silence than waste time on meaningless conversations that only delay the inevitable. People might see this as cold, but to a Sigma male, it's self-respect. Why keep someone in your life when the connection is already dead? Why force something that no longer serves you? Most people hesitate, afraid of confrontation or the discomfort of change. Sigma males embrace it. They understand that walking away isn't cruel, it's necessary, and that's why they do it without hesitation. Number 2, they don't owe you an explanation, and they know it. Society teaches people to explain themselves, to justify their choices, and to make sure nobody feels uncomfortable when they walk away. Sigma males reject that nonsense entirely. They don't move based on what others expect. They move based on what makes sense to them. And if that means cutting someone off without a word, then so be it. The truth is, most people don't want an explanation. They want a chance to argue, to guilt trip, to manipulate. They want a chance to change the Sigma's mind or force him to stay where he no longer wants to be. Sigma males don't entertain that game. They understand that when a relationship, whether personal, professional, or social, no longer serves them, the only thing left to do is leave. Not negotiate, not sugarcoat, just leave. This isn't about arrogance or cruelty. It's about clarity. Sigma males see no value in explaining a decision that has already been made, especially to people who wouldn't accept it anyway. If someone was a good presence in their life, they wouldn't have to leave. If they decide to disappear, there's a reason, and explaining that reason won't change the outcome. Think about it. How many times have you seen people beg for closure, only to ignore it when they get it. How many people actually listen when someone tells them why they're walking away? Most just argue, defend, or shift blame. Sigma males don't waste time with that cycle. Instead, they do what most people are too afraid to do. They leave without explaining, without apologizing, and without seeking permission. Because at the end of the day, they don't owe anyone a justification for prioritizing their peace. If someone needs an explanation for why a Sigma male disappeared, they should probably start by asking themselves why they were left behind in the first place. Number 3, they'd rather be alone than surrounded by the wrong people. Most people fear loneliness so much that they settle. They keep fake friends around just to avoid eating alone. They tolerate disrespect just to feel included. They stay in draining relationships because the thought of walking away terrifies them. Sigma males? They don't think like that. They embrace solitude, not because they have to, but because they choose to. A Sigma male doesn't ghost people for fun. He ghosts because he refuses to waste time in shallow, one-sided, or meaningless interactions. If a friendship feels fake, he walks. If a relationship starts draining his energy instead of adding to his life, he disappears. If a group dynamic doesn't align with his values, he removes himself. No drama, no announcement, just silence. To a Sigma male, being alone is never the worst option. The worst option is staying in spaces that suffocate his growth. The worst option is forcing himself to entertain people who don't genuinely care about him. The worst option is pretending to be interested in conversations that drain his energy instead of fueling his mind. That's why he walks away without hesitation. And here's what most people don't understand. Sigma males don't feel lonely when they're alone. They feel lonely when they're surrounded by the wrong people. The kind of people who talk but don't listen, who expect loyalty but give nothing in return, who pretend to be friends but secretly compete. That's the kind of environment a Sigma male refuses to tolerate. So when he ghosts, it's not about being rude, it's about self-respect. He's not disappearing out of bitterness, he's simply choosing peace over noise, depth over shallowness, and self-worth over forced connections. And if that means walking alone, he welcomes it, because to a Sigma male, solitude isn't a punishment, it's freedom. Number 4, they don't believe in endless second chances. Most people love to talk about forgiveness, about giving endless chances, about believing that people will change. Sigma males don't buy into that fantasy. They believe in patterns, not promises. And when someone shows their true colors, they take it seriously. The first time someone crosses a Sigma male, he notices. He doesn't overreact, he doesn't make a scene, but he remembers. He watches how they move, how they treat others, how they handle situations when there's nothing to gain. And if they repeat the same disrespect, the same selfishness, or the same betrayal, he doesn't argue, he doesn't warn, he disappears. Why? Because a Sigma male understands a brutal truth. If someone truly valued you, they wouldn't keep making the same mistakes. They wouldn't need endless second chances to get it right. They wouldn't apologize only to turn around and do the exact same thing again. Sigma males see through the cycle of fake remorse, empty words, and recycled excuses. They know that once someone has shown you who they are, it's foolish to keep hoping for a different outcome. Unlike most people, Sigma males don't let emotions override logic. They don't let nostalgia blind them to reality. They don't cling to connections that have already been exposed as one-sided or toxic. Instead, they make one firm decision: to walk away and never look back. And here's what sets them apart. Their silence is permanent. When a Sigma male cuts someone off, it's final. There's no coming back, no begging for another chance, no long-winded explanations. He doesn't waste time teaching grown people how to respect him. He doesn't let loyalty become a trap that keeps him tied to the wrong people. At the end of the day, a Sigma male doesn't care for drama, revenge, or proving a point. He simply removes himself because his energy is too valuable to be wasted on people who have already proven they don't deserve it. Number 5, they know when someone is testing boundaries, and they refuse to play along. Some people like to test limits. They push a little here, disrespect a little there, just to see how much they can get away with. They're not always obvious about it. Sometimes it's subtle. A backhanded compliment, a dismissive tone, a small betrayal disguised as a mistake. Most people let it slide, hoping it's a one-time thing. Sigma males don't. The moment someone starts playing games with boundaries, a Sigma male takes note. He sees the test for what it is: a power move. a way to see if he'll tolerate disrespect. And instead of arguing, instead of giving warnings, instead of explaining why the behavior is unacceptable, he does the one thing people don't expect. He walks away. This is what sets Sigma males apart. Most people give too many chances. They let small things slide, thinking they'll stop. But small things become big things, and by the time they realize it, the damage is done. Sigma males don't allow that progression. They understand that when someone is testing boundaries, they're showing their true nature. And once they see it, there's no unseeing it. Here's what makes it even more powerful. Sigma males don't announce their decision. They don't waste time with dramatic exits or emotional confrontations. They just remove themselves. No explanations, no warnings, no second chances. One step over the line is enough. Some will call it ruthless, but in reality, it's self-respect. Sigma males don't believe in training people to treat them right. They expect it. If someone values the relationship, they won't play games in the first place. If they do, they don't deserve access. It's that simple. So when a Sigma male ghosts someone, it's rarely random. It's a reaction to something that person did, a test they failed. And once he makes his decision, it's final. Number 6, they refuse to be someone's emotional punching bag. Some people don't want real relationships. They want emotional dumping grounds, someone to unload their frustrations on, someone to absorb their negativity, someone to bear the weight of their baggage while they go about their lives untouched. A Sigma male? He refuses to be that person. It's not that he lacks empathy. In fact, Sigma males are highly perceptive and understand emotions better than most. But what they won't do is let someone turn them into an emotional sponge. They won't sit there absorbing constant negativity, endless complaints, and unresolved baggage from people who refuse to deal with their own problems. At first, it's subtle. A friend who only reaches out when they need to vent. A partner who expects endless patience but never offers support in return. A colleague who constantly dumps their frustrations but never asks how he's doing. Most people tolerate it because they don't want to seem unsupportive. A Sigma male, however, recognizes the pattern early and acts on it. The moment he senses he's being used, he leaves. No warning, no confrontation, no dramatic exit, just silence. Why? Because he knows his worth. He understands the difference between helping someone through a tough time and being someone's emotional punching bag. And the second he realizes he's being drained instead of valued, he disappears. Some will call it cold. Some will say he just walked away or didn't care. But that's not the truth. The truth is, he values his peace more than someone else's emotional chaos. He knows that people who truly care about him will never treat him like a dumping ground. And those who do, they were never real connections to begin with. Number 7, they know that most people won't understand their decisions anyway. Most people spend their lives seeking approval, explaining their choices, defending their actions, and hoping others will understand. Sigma males don't waste their time on that. They know that no matter how much they explain, most people still won't get it. So instead of justifying their decisions, they simply make them and move on. When a Sigma male cuts ties, ghosts someone, or walks away from a situation, people often ask, why? They assume there must be a dramatic reason, some major betrayal, or a hidden grudge. But the truth is much simpler. He saw what he needed to see and acted accordingly. He doesn't need permission to protect his peace. He doesn't need validation to know he made the right call. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think closure comes from a conversation. They believe that if they can just get the Sigma male to explain himself, they can argue, negotiate, or guilt him into staying. But that's not how it works. A Sigma male's silence is his answer. If he walked away, it's because he decided the relationship, the friendship, or the situation no longer served him. That's all the explanation he needs. People who are used to control hate this. They want closure on their terms. They want to debate, persuade, or manipulate. But Sigma males don't engage in those games. They are not interested in proving themselves to anyone. They don't need a roundtable discussion to confirm their choices. They don't operate by society's unspoken rule that says you must explain yourself when you leave. They make their move and never look back. And that's the part that confuses people the most. There is no final conversation, no dramatic goodbye, no second chances, just a quiet, calculated decision and an empty space where there used to be. Number 8, words mean nothing without actions. Talk is cheap. Anyone can say the right things, make big promises, and spin a good story. But Sigma males don't fall for words, they watch what people do. And the moment someone's actions don't match their words, a Sigma male checks out. No warnings, no debates, no second chances, just silence. Most people cling to relationships based on what they hope will happen. They convince themselves that someone means well, even when their actions say otherwise. A Sigma male doesn't play that game. He believes in patterns, not apologies. If someone keeps making excuses, breaking promises, or saying one thing while doing another, he doesn't waste time hoping they'll change. He ghosts. Why? Because engaging with someone who is inconsistent, dishonest, or manipulative is a waste of time. Arguing won't change them. Calling them out won't fix the problem. All it does is give them another chance to talk their way out of it. Sigma males don't entertain that cycle. They don't beg for honesty or respect. They just leave. And here's what makes it even more powerful. They leave without explanation. Why? Because the person already knows what they did. A Sigma male doesn't need to spell it out. If someone lied, broke their trust, or acted in a way that proved they weren't genuine, the consequences speak for themselves. A Sigma male's silence is not an invitation for negotiation, it's a statement. I see you for who you are and I'm done. Some will call it cold. Some will say he should have given more chances. But Sigma males don't operate on wishful thinking. They trust reality, not excuses. And if reality shows them that someone isn't who they claim to be, they walk away, without guilt, without regret, and without looking back. Number 9, once the respect is gone, so are they. Sigma males don't demand respect. They command it, not through force, not through arrogance, but through the way they carry themselves. They respect others, they respect themselves, and in return they expect the same. But the moment that respect is broken, they're gone. No warnings, no negotiations, just silence. Most people tolerate disrespect because they fear confrontation or believe things will improve. Sigma males don't entertain that illusion. They know that once someone crosses a line, whether it's undermining their intelligence, violating their boundaries, or dismissing their values, it's only a matter of time before it happens again. And they don't stick around to see just how much worse it can get. The key difference? A Sigma male doesn't announce his departure. He doesn't beg for better treatment. He doesn't demand an apology or try to explain why he's walking away. He simply disappears. Why? Because he knows that people who truly respect him wouldn't have disrespected him in the first place. And those who do, they're not worth a conversation. People often mistake this silence for coldness, but in reality, it's clarity. Sigma males have no interest in teaching someone how to treat them. If you don't get it naturally, you don't belong in their world. They don't waste energy arguing with people who have already shown their true colors. They just move on effortlessly, decisively, and permanently. And here's what's even more powerful. When a Sigma male ghosts, it's final. There's no comeback, no second chance, no emotional debate, just a door that closes, and once it does, it never reopens. Some will realize too late what they lost, but by then, he's already gone and he's not looking back. Number 10. When someone fails their loyalty test, they're done. Loyalty isn't just a word to a Sigma male. It's the foundation of every connection he keeps. He doesn't trust easily, and when he does, he expects integrity. Not perfection, not blind obedience, but a simple, unshakable truth. If you say you're in his corner, prove it. If you fail that test, you don't get a second chance. Sigma males watch people closely, not through paranoia, but through quiet observation. They listen more than they speak. They notice the small inconsistencies, the subtle betrayals, the moments when someone's words and actions don't align. And once they confirm disloyalty, whether it's gossip, deception, broken promises, or hidden agendas, they don't argue. They disappear. Unlike others, they don't give endless chances or make excuses for bad behavior. There's no long debate, no confrontation, no dramatic scene, just a silent, calculated exit. And the person who betrayed them, they don't even realize what's happening until it's too late. One day the Sigma male is there, the next he's gone. People underestimate this because Sigma males don't always react immediately. They don't explode in anger or call someone out publicly. Instead, they store information, piece things together and wait. And when the final straw comes, there's no saving the relationship. The door closes and it never reopens. Some people realize their mistake too late. They try to explain, to justify, to plead for another chance, but by then it's over. A Sigma male doesn't hold grudges, he just moves on. And once he's moved on, there's no coming back. Number 11. They believe actions speak louder than words, and ghosting is the loudest action. Most people feel the need to explain themselves, to justify their choices, offer closure, or soften the blow when they walk away. Sigma males don't. They understand a simple truth. Words are often meaningless, but actions tell the whole story, and when a Sigma male ghosts, it's not out of cruelty or immaturity, it's a deliberate, calculated decision that speaks louder than any goodbye ever could. Instead of wasting time arguing, debating, or pleading for better treatment, Sigma males let silence do the talking. Their absence isn't accidental, it's a statement. It says, "This dynamic no longer serves me. I refuse to stay where I am, undervalued, disrespected, or drained." And unlike others who threaten to leave but never do, Sigma males follow through. People who rely on manipulation, guilt, or sweet-talking to keep others around hate this. They expect an argument. They expect a fight. They expect to twist the narrative and make the Sigma male doubt his decision. But when he simply disappears, no explanation, no drama, it leaves them with nothing to latch onto. That's what makes it so powerful. Here's the reality. Anyone who truly valued him wouldn't have put him in a position where he had to walk away in the first place. He doesn't need to explain what they already know. If his absence stings, if they feel the weight of his silence, that's the consequence of their own actions. Some will call it cold, others will say it's unfair. But Sigma males aren't here to make people feel comfortable at their own expense. They're here to protect their energy, their time, and their peace. And if that means ghosting, then so be it. The power of walking away without a word. At the end of the day, ghosting isn't about revenge, cruelty, or playing games. It's about self-respect. A Sigma male understands that not every battle is worth fighting, not every relationship is worth saving, and not every person deserves an explanation. When he's done, he's done. Society teaches people to seek closure, to explain themselves, to hold on to relationships longer than they should. But a Sigma male doesn't live by those rules. He knows his worth. He doesn't beg for respect, he doesn't tolerate mistreatment, and he doesn't justify his decisions to those who have already failed him. His silence is his closure. Some will misunderstand, others will resent it, but that's not his problem. His loyalty is rare, his time is valuable, and his energy is not up for grabs. If someone forces him to walk away, that's on them. He owes no one his presence, only himself his peace. To the Sigma males out there, trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. If someone disrespects you once, they'll do it again. And if you ever find yourself in a situation that drains you more than it fulfills you, walk away. No explanations, no apologies, just leave and never look back. Because in the end, the strongest message you'll ever send is the sound of your absence. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.